Okay, the first deck we are playing this morning, Darkness Control. So, unlike the more mid-rangey list that we played earlier this week, this deck is foregoing more of the aggressive sort of beatdown units in the Sentinels and playing a more disruptive, just more controlling game plan. So we have things like Autopus instead to disrupt our opponents, have be an early blocker. Stress defense to help protect our key threats. We're also trying some mini-morph at the top end as opposed to the piercing darkness as like our 6 mana removal spell. A lot of the times the fact that this is burst speed and silences a unit is going to be big game against a lot of the top end that our opponents are playing, as opposed to just trying to hit them and drain for 5. We'll see how we feel against things like Pirate Burn, however, with that little bit less healing. But yeah, that's kind of basically the key difference between this and the more mid-rangey list we were playing earlier. And this list is largely based on what you can find on the Mobalytics website, with a few cards changed just for my own personal preference, my own personal take. And I'm curious to see how it feels overall today. So let's just jump into some games and see how we do. I am very much, if people have been watching the stream since the Vandal City expansion dropped, I'm a big fan of the Darkness archetype. And I would very much like to find a more consistent Darkness deck to play on the ladder. Because I really, really like this archetype. I think it's fun. I think it's pretty much everything I want to be doing in a card game like this. So if this is a more viable version of the deck, I'm very much interested. Yeah, mini morph is a big reason why I think we'd be doing a little bit better in this matchup. This was one of the tougher matchups we saw in the
well, I did say I wanted to
in the games we played with the mid-range deck, and a big reason why is because of things like big pikes and big Rek'Sais. So basically the key reasons why this deck is so good, right? Oftentimes they can struggle if they don't find those cards. I'm gonna take 3 here. Sure, okay.
1.
Kind of sucks for us, actually. Do we play a Vigar? I think we might. Let's see what they do. I guess they have that Snapjaw that they're gonna just play now, and we're not gonna have a good blocker for it. So maybe this was iffy. Still can't block this thing, which is annoying. Yeah, that's another reason why we should have just played this out. Yeah. I was kind of really relying on that Vile Feast hitting in this matchup. Didn't expect them to Bone Skewer. I would just open attacks. Like, I don't have a good block, so I don't know what our opponent's waiting for here. Senna's not really a good play. Yeah, we don't have a lot of good plays. Maybe I go with the Catalyzer.
I want my hat, and I want it now!
Lord Vagar, you cannot rush perfection.
Guess we'll kill one of the things we can't block. Probably the more powerful one.
The darkness consumes you!
So we're dead. I mean, we're not dead yet, but we're basically dead.
Ah, Fearless.
Yeah, really, really needed that that Vile Feast to hit there. But I kind of punted the mid game too. I should have played Twisted Catalyzer instead of Vigar when I did. I guess it didn't really end up mattering because of the line our opponent took, but I think we're just too far gone at this point. I definitely made some mistakes, but I think I really, really needed that Vile Beast to hit there. My opponent just kind of had the nuts. Alright, well, not a good first game for this deck. Kind of hoping we run into that matchup again sometime before we're done with this deck, just so I can try to redeem myself, see if the matchup really is as tough as it seems. Okay, well there we go. Different player. I don't know if that Otterpuss is really that good in this matchup. Maybe it's fine. I don't know that I want 2 1-drops. Yikes. Okay, probably not gonna have a good time here. That's gonna be what our draws are like. Might just take this hit because maybe not. -1 power and what's better, giving this +2 cost is -1 vulnerable. Not really sure the answer. So hoping to see one of our 2-mana deal ones in the next 2 draws. We didn't get that. Definitely far from that, unfortunately. Come on, thingy. Alright, well.
Give me your palace, creatures of doom!
These lurk players that I've been facing lately are really good at finding their wreck size. So this can now kill this, so not a big deal. What are we playing? Yeah, maybe the resurgence of this deck is the reason why this deck can run a ton more 2-drops, huh?
They all sink before they float. Clever girl.
Yeah, alright. Alright. That's just a really bad matchup, I guess. We also drew pretty, kind of iffy, but... Alright, can we get a non-lurk player now? I think I'm kind of over the lurk deck. Nah, that's not true. It's kind of a fun matchup, but man... When they find their wreck size and get like double triggers every turn... Brutal. Yeah, like where were these cards before? And that would have been very nice. Alright. Instead I draw all my fives and the Vigar, who's a terrible blocker. Really good.
I am here until I am no more. Draw from the light.
Presumably they have protection for this, but I may as well try. Maybe not. Maybe I'm supposed to make them lose a spell mana there.
Keep up, keep up! Let's do this!
Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do that post-combat. It saves me a life
Let
either
us
way.
cast shadows.
I'm sure I care about that. I'm gonna try this now. It's a slow spell, we have the mana.
Embrace the current or be swept away. I am the Tide Caller. I will drive back the darkness.
So we're definitely gonna mini-morph her as soon as she plays out the first threat. Pass our turn, then probably Extali Sentinel. They could have a second one, I suppose.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Yeah, let's try this. I'd actually rather see them do this now than save these for when they draw a Nami or Shelly, or even when I have damage marked on their stuff. But I think that's a win for us overall. Do I just play the Sentinel and not care about the life or the darkness?
Big head.
I think with this draw we play this instead, maybe do hidden pathways.
Commence operation! Recover Moonstone!
Yep.
Draw from the light.
Stress defense are good because not only can we use them to protect our key threats, but we can also temporarily reduce the power of our opponent's threats as well. So this is up to 3.
Message from... Oh, hey, what's that?
We'll see what they do here. Maybe this wasn't the play for this turn. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up a couple of stress defense. Yeah, this is a mistake also if they have...
Life is cyclical. Darkness ends.
Follow me to victory! Ship time!
We're supposed to swing before they can super cool star chart and make this thing bigger than what I can defend against.
The elements bind the living
I
and
think
the
so. I think I was supposed to try to get as much life drain as possible. Okay,
dead. Bury
now
fear,
let's attack.
bury doubt.
Wow, double hush. Brutal. Well, we got these stress defenses to prevent us from dying. Next turn, the question is, are we winning? Are we able to win the following turn? Actually, does it stop us from dying? Might not. That is a Senna. Senna means we can double darkness some things. Might not be enough.
Riddle me something cool. Universe demands change. I'm doing it anyway.
Wow, they just found Shelly after Shelly after Shelly, huh? Oh, now we're dead. Cool. Cool, bro. So technically, I mean, we would have died anyway from that. Even if we swung first to try to heal. That sucks. I feel like we were pretty close to turning the corner there. Then they just, like, kept binding their key threats. I don't know, maybe I'm just playing... I'm sure I'm not playing great, but I can't really see what... If I'm making big mistakes, or am I just making just small ones that are just enough to keep me from taking it. Oh boy. Well, Minimorph is good against the Scion, but it's kind of a late game card. We'll take the blocker. I think we'll take the Vile Feast. I think Miss potentially very good. We can build up spell mana for it as well. Just depending on what they play here, it'll determine whether or not we play this. I think I'd rather bank the spell mana. If they play nothing, we'll bank the spell mana. If they play a threat that we can trade with, probably play this.
Demacia sends its
I'd
regards.
rather just take this trade. Yeah, is that right? Maybe it's not. With this in hand, it's probably wrong.
Give me your palace, creatures of doom!
Am I shipping that in? I guess they can make this not, make one of my things not block. I think that's okay.
Time for the main event.
Could see them spinning axe the flame chompers to get the 1/1 out of the way, force me to trade off one of my one of these, but I'm not gonna. Oh, well. I guess I still could have used this. That's gonna be nice later. I don't think I want to throw my 3/2 into their 2/1. Oh, what to do? What to do? What to do? Do I care about that? I could actually then Dark Bulb, Acolyte, kill the Draven, so maybe it's fine.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
Okay. So they have Whirling Death in hand, second Draven. That actually would be kind of bad for us, I suppose.
Now we're cooking.
I didn't do nothing!
Okay. Just kill you.
You suck.
The Wheel of War turns ever onward. Do work.
Think I'm blocking there. No, I don't think so. Probably just run this out as a 4/5 life steal next round.
The elements bind the living and the dead.
Could really use that Minimorph now. If they have found their Scion, that's going to be very, very nasty. Anywho. We'll see what they could do. They could play the Twin Blade Revenant and then trade this off with with a spinning axe. Could do that either way. So is there any real reason not to do it now? I guess
Through conflict, we grow.
if they do have a Scion, they could challenge this off to the side where it won't gain the life before I take a big hit potentially, so I guess it's better to just do this now. They still have this challenger to take stuff off to the side too though, which is kind of potentially scary. If they do play a Scion here, I guess I could Withering Mist these two.
Die a fool, flee a coward.
The Empire's champion, unbridled and raw.
I'm trying to see how we win from here. Obviously we need our big cards, which we're not finding. Take a hit for 10. We can heal back up a little bit. You are at 3. What do I do here? Let's start with this. Okay, here's our Vigar.
Let me see.
So, okay, so then this is also another option. And then I kill the both of them. And I go back up to 12. He take a hit, he loses his thingy. I guess I would rather do this. Is that a game-winning line though? Like if I do that, we go down to 4? There's no way that's good, right? But I mean, when else would I do this? Could play you. Power stuff up. Descent Ada can come down and do some nastiness, but I don't know that that's really doing much either.
I am Lord Vega, destroyer of worlds! We'll make them pay!
That is a really good draw.
I want my hat, and I want it now!
Lord Vega, you cannot rush perfection.
Only deals with 2 or less power though. Maybe it's not that great.
Witness true power!
Okay, that's a Senna. I can see why the list on Mobalytics doesn't have Descent Ada. They're usually just kind of an awkward play. They can be potentially very powerful, but also kind of very awkward. I love when you have a Senna and then on the field and then you play Descent Ada to have that quick speed sweeper potentially, but like the times that lines up and then ends up being good is so few and far between. It's probably worth a cut. I like the idea of the card so much, but it's so bad. And an 8 mana 7/6 with no keywords, otherwise it's just like, it's not even that great of a top deck. By the time you're in top deck mode, the second line of text is kind of irrelevant, unfortunately. So what am I doing here? Am I playing Senna? Senna gives us a darkness. But then I don't have the mana to play both the darkness and the event horizon. Actually, I do, because the darknesses right now only cost 2.
Bring me darkness, Senna, and perhaps I will let you live.
It's a good thing you're cute, Viggs.
Just playing a big-ass Lost Soul. So this stuns those two. Shoot you. Does he have any way to buff there? He could have a thingy in hand, so I could lose Vigor, so maybe I don't want to.
What are you wearing?
Come on, we're on the clock. Spirits ain't gonna free themselves.
This will only be 1 more damage, so I think this is fine. I think these are the blocks I'm making.
The darkness consumes. I am the destroyer of worlds!
Keep your distance.
Make them pay!
That gives them a rally now, so that's not really that good. Suppose they can block here though too. Then I could just shoot.
Ready to fire. Darkness and light.
I'll pull you apart.
How badly do I want to keep Senna around? The nice thing is that both of my champions are at 5 toughness after this, so he can't kill them with can't kill them with the
We are the dark. We are alive.
revenants, Twinblade revenants.
Keep your distance. Sure must be nice, taking things slow.
So they could have survival skills, in which case we'd go down to 1 after I point this here. But if that's the case, then what do they gotta do? They gotta play out a bunch of stuff. We can play Des and Ada, sweep them. So maybe this is better,
Don't have any warning shots.
even though it's gonna mean we have less slows. We have slow speed. Oh, how is he gonna play that though? He doesn't have any discard. He could have another Poro cannon, I suppose. Hey, look at that. We finally got a win. Against an aggro deck, too.
The best mage of all time!
So let's actually get the Descent Ada out of the deck. It's been unimpressive to me in the last several games, even in the other mid-range deck. I really like this stress defense, the fact that it can play both sides, both protect your threats or actually reduce the threat to the other. I might actually put the mini-morphs in my mid-range deck as well. This one, maybe. I probably don't need as many Buru Sentinels. They're just like one stat off of being really good. They need like +2/+2 on Slay, I would like, instead of +2/+1 like her. Anyway, neither here nor there. I know some builds are running the Conchologist instead of these Sentinels. The Conchologist, I don't know. It's a better blocker in the early game against aggro. Obviously, the Darknesses take a while to get good. But I just don't love the random spell that they generate, but maybe we should just try them. I should just play with them more. Those decks are built by people who play this game way more than me and are smarter and probably more handsome than me too, so I should probably go with what they're doing. Interesting. Do we want the Burgeoning Sentinel here? Also, why did they change the name of this? Do they have plans to actually bring a Demacian Sentinel in the game, or did they realize after the fact that, oh wait a minute, she's not Demacian, she's from somewhere else?
Can a spirit fight to the death? Thinking I'll learn soon.
Go ahead and play the Catalyzer, I think. See if we can get in for a hit.
Brain! Mine's the wonder! Yes!
Maybe we get the rare and elusive 2 strikes with the Twisted Catalyzer in a game.
One, patrol two, patrol
Very
three.
tough.
As we practice, team. They're here. Sound the alarm.
+2 cost to your go hard sounds kinda nice. This is a redraw, so maybe this is better than this. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Let us take a peek at life beneath the waves.
90% of the time, these spells stink. The Hog. Okay, cool.
Rabbit Rabbit who?
Water changes but never breaks.
The tie look right fierce.
I'm gonna assume he doesn't have a way to buff this in trade here, so...
form will the waters take?
Does death follow me, or peace?
What do we think they have? Do we think they have a way to kill my Senna? I think they might, so I might just actually just do this as a redraw. Oh, second Senna's nice though.
Huh. Guess I'm the big guns now. Ready to fire! Darkness and light.
So even if they have Death Mark here, we can just like hit it again. Obviously our thing will still lose Ephemeral, but at least they won't have a 6/6 6/6 dude. Actually, with that in mind, do we want to save the other darkness then and finish it off with Withering Mist?
Make the hurt your weapon. That's it.
Problem is if they open attacks, they get back a lot of life, which I don't like. Let's play that thing next turn. Do we care about them gaining back all that life? I don't think so. I think we're okay with it.
Death comes.
I actually think I just take this trade.
They've got a ghost of a chance.
You could say I got a light switch.
Only I can command darkness. Only I.
Life lives, but legends last.
Go, darkness.
Come.
It's showtime. Smooth brain fool. My mind.
fruits are finally ready.
Yes, the landing platform. Yes, good.
So, I mean, our opponent wasn't just out of it. We would have created a darkness that could deal 7, and we could point that at their face starting that turn, but then, I mean, they're down to 1, and we don't have a way to stop them, so I think we would instead, it would make more sense potentially to open attacks and try to put them dead to that. They didn't have removal. What do we have here? I don't care. So many shinies. Yeah, I'm wondering if I just want to split the difference with those conchologists. Like, maybe I don't want 2 conchologists. I could go 2 conchologists, 1 Solari Sentinel, or 2 and 1. They just don't feel really, really good to me. Pokesticks doesn't hit a lot of their stuff that I like. I want a Vigar because I want to get our darknesses going ASAP. Otter Push could potentially slow them down, so I like that. Dark Bulb, Alkalite as a blocker, I think is fine. Yeah. Got the Pokestick anyway. What are you working with, opponent? This game's likely to go long, so giving this -1 power and can't block now I think is actually very, very good. See if they do Vile Feast. Doesn't really matter, like they get the same result. Yeah, we can stop that from connecting if we combine these two skills of ours.
Only I can command darkness.
They have
Only
another
I.
one. They have another one. So with that in mind, like they're connecting either way with 1, but they don't have to connect with 2, so I guess that's the upside. Let's pass and see what they do.
Oh, brilliance!
Forgot about Minimorph. I don't know, I guess I just didn't do the math. I was like, there's nothing they can play that can kill this, right? Minimorph. Minimorph was the answer.
Smooth brain fool!
Minimorph was the answer. At least Arsena's gonna stick around, maybe? Guess we can start getting some value off of this. Let's just like hit this. Trade these off. Next turn we can play Senna.
You could say I got a life
You could say I got a light switch. Sure. I will never say that, but...
I am here until I am no more.
They have a deal for. So I guess I'm supposed to do this just for a little bit of value. Even if it means...
What are you wearing? Getting dark.
Why would they not just throw away their blocker, the one that was dying there?
Second time's worse.
Okay.
Fashion forward.
There's a Vagar to bail us out, potentially. Let's do this again. Well, darn it. Well, darn. I'm gonna pass because they might play this to clear a blocker.
Drop.
Play this.
Well, I did say I wanted to see the world.
This might encourage them to play the Sentinel and then shoot. And then maybe I can get our Vygar going.
The elements bind the living and the dead.
That can't block. It's gonna attack again. This is like a soft pass to our opponent. Gives them the option to get some value. They're not taking the bait, unfortunately. Let's see what we draw here. Just pass.
Make the darkness your own. Good one.
Now I'm gonna see if I can resolve this.
We'll make them pay.
I am in control.
So many Dark Bulb Acolytes, I feel like I just need to start spending resources.
The darkness consumes you. Reach for the lightning, my incomprehensible lackey! The castle!
This game I don't think is as important as how big this guy's getting, but it's kind of a wash, right? Like this can't block so I can get in, but then just feel the life back. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have just waited. Alright. I should have thought about Minimorph in the early game. At this point I think we're too far gone. If I think about Minimorph, then I don't play out that Vygar, and then I think we have a little bit more interesting mirror. I think I'm gonna stop with this deck. It's just not going well, and we're about an hour anyway, which is at most I wanted to play with this. I think we're gonna call it it. That's not true. Let's just do one more, get over an hour, and see how this final match plays. I'm just not playing well today with this deck. I think I'm just too anxious to play some of the other things today, and just not really there. My mind's not really there for it. Riven Darius with Ionia. Who knows? Who knows? Kinda like this hand, I think. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I'm losing so much, I don't know what's good or bad. So I'm just gonna like bash my head against the wall and then we'll see what works. I don't want to. I'm not thinking anymore. I'm just doing and learning from my mistakes. I play this game once a week. I don't have time. I can't remember every card all the time. Who knows what they could be playing? They could be playing anything. Alright, let's see what you're working with. Young Witch. Probably the pick. It's close. It's a vile feast.
Off we go!
Slow down!
Well, I did say I wanted to see the world.
This way! Go!
I'll just take the 3. I think I'm supposed to start with this so that she's a bit bigger. This thing can get buffed up a bunch, so let's just start with this. Do we think they're gonna weapon hilt to take this out? Probably. If they do, I kill this in response unless they want to do it with this, in which case I don't mind the trade. Just mute our obnoxious opponent. I can do the same thing too, man.
Lulu! Where'd she go?
Please, Bob.
Oh, it is a great day for a reckoning!
I think it's better to do this just to keep our life total high.
Someone get him up! Who's ready to reckon?
I can't trade with both of those as is, so I think I'm gonna play something out that lets me do that. No, okay, I'll pick this because it's something that kills a young witch. Oh, I guess he's gonna give these things quick attack though.
The finest battlecaster in Nazis steps up!
We'll trade here and we'll gain 4. I think we start off with a full swing.
Do you like magic?
You like
He engages,
magic?
but will he survive? Hopefully, yes.
Okay, well that's good. Now this kills both of these.
Kneel, students. Rise, warriors. See the world through new eyes. They've got a ghost of a chance. The balance wills it. Don't you look a sight? Can you still rise?
We'll make them pay! Reach for the lightning, my incomprehensible lackey!
Break the ties that bind.
To the world, hello!
Kinku, hold fast.
wanted it, and I want it now.
Lord Vega,
Tentacles off the spectacles, please.
I guess this was stupid because he would have powered it up. Yeah, that was dumb.
Witness true power.
Suddenly not so dumb.
I have my orders.
Bye, opponent.
The world will bow to me.
Alright, I think that's where we're gonna end it. Yeah, the deck seems fun and fine. I like the biggest change I like is the mini morph over the piercing darkness. As much as I like that drain effect, I think this is just going to be better overall most of the time. I actually really like the mix of removal that we have in this deck. I think I like the Stilted Roadmaker as our 4-mana play over the Aloof Travelers that the one list is running for sure. Yeah, I like a lot what we're doing. The main thing I'm kind of iffy on is this Conchologist. Like, it helped us a lot in that game. In other games, what it's... the random spells that it creates, I think, are just not that great. I suppose it just depends on what we wanna hedge ourselves against, right? Like, Conchologist is much better against, say, probably a little bit better, arguably, against the discard aggro. Definitely better in the couple of matchups that we lost early on against Lurk. But so depending on where the format shifts, I could see maybe taking out a couple of these, maybe even all three, and putting back some Solari Sentinels and maybe another Burgeoning Sentinel, depending, but maybe not. Depends. But for the most part, yeah, this feels pretty good. I might actually go back to the more mid-rangey list where I'm still trying to make these Sentinels a thing and like consider some changes. Like, for example, I'd probably the next time I play this variant, I'd probably take those out, put in the mini morphs, and then what else is that list running? The Stress Defense feels kind of good as both, obviously, to be defensive, but also as a way to protect our key threats. Maybe this, he's kind of underperforming. I might swap that out, but otherwise, if I feel like I'm generating enough darkness spells, I could see this being the swap, for example. Like, this is probably what I'd play. See if these Sentinels feel a little bit better in a lot of games, because I like the cards and I like the pressure they put out, and I hope they make this card just a touch better. I think it could be. I think he's like one stat line away from being better. Like I keep saying, like I think he needs one more attack or one more defense, either by default or after, as part of his ability, and then I think he would be perfect. I think it would incentivize people to play him a little bit more, but maybe then he'd be too good because he'd just be like a 3-drop in a fearsome aggro deck that doesn't give a crap about slaying units with spells. Who knows? It's a fine line to walk. But anyway, this is probably what I would try to play next time we play a Darkness deck. I'd try this again. I do like, but back to what this deck is doing. I do like the Otterpuss for our 1-drops. Being disruptive can be great. Sometimes, though, like it's very random, doesn't hit the things you want. But overall, usually the disruption this thing causes is meaningful, and it is a 1-mana play that is a blocker, and it's essentially free, right? And like we're a deck that is heavy on spells, so the fact that it's a tuning means it's essentially a free 1/1. So even if the prank we played ends up not being great, but like the spell mana we could use on a following turn can be useful. Again, the big question mark for me is this Conchologist. I think the rest of the deck felt great. We had some rough games against aggro in our first 3 sets, and then I punted a mirror because I like played out my Vygar into a mini morph. It's a learning process. I think I don't think that speaks necessarily to the deck. Just speaks to my my lack of experience with it. and with the current decks in this format, I suppose. So I don't know that Lurk is a bad matchup for Darkness decks, but it has felt that way for me so far, but we'll see. Anywho, like what this deck is doing, I think it's fun. So I'm more interested in the play patterns that went down instead of rather more so than the results of the matches we played. Let's put it that way. All right, let's move on to the next deck, shall we?